Purple gold, brighter than lampposts. Knicks cave rivals roast like prime toast. Brunson with the handles breaking Fortnites. Dagger shots serenade the New York.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, the Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop? Hit that notification bell. All right, y'all. Let's get into this video. I know some of y'all already know what I'm about to say. What's up, Ron's Day? The coach point blank, period. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into Tibbs. First, we're going to talk about game one because I meant to make a video with game one. I forgot game one. We're going to definitely going to talk about game two. And we're going to talk about the minute police. And because I seen something in game two. I don't know if some of y'all seen it. I seen it in game two and game one. All right, y'all. Let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. All right, let's go. All right, last night. Well, not last night. The other night, the game was on. Man, listen. The fat lady, she ain't singing yet, but she's in the dressing room. And we got tomorrow to keep her from walking down that aisle. And do y'all think that we can win 4 games out of these last couple of games? You think we can get 4 game wins? I don't know. All right, let's talk about game one. Because game one was very disappointing. We had a 14-point lead, 3 minutes and less in the game. We supposed to have won that game. I'm going to tell you why we lost that game. Y'all already seen the thumbnail. It's all on Tibbs. He's too predictable. Now, I know Jalen Brunson is the man. Crunch time. Captain Clutch. And one would have thought that when Brunson came in, the lead would expand. But statistically, that game, I know how many points Brunson had. First of all, I want to say I know how many points Brunson had. But with him off the court, the Knicks were scoring more and playing better. Defensively, they came in, they broke us down. I forget the kid name. It's right on top of my head. I hit them 5 threes. The defense plays a big part, but Tibbs should have left that rotation in the squad with McBride. We had Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns. I think Payne was on the floor. We had it going. There was no reason to bring Brunson back. I know y'all gonna say Mr. Clutch, Captain Clutch. We was at 13 points. Even Jordan would pass to his teammates. Exactly. I really didn't want to get, well, I am going to get into that. That's something I want to get into, Brunson. And when we need the crunch time Brunson and when we just got to lay back and let the other team rock. And this is the biggest flaw of this team is the coach was not giving the other guys a chance to rock. Because had he left that squad, game one I'm talking about, we're going to get to game two because game two I seen fatigue and Brunson. But in game one, I seen the fatigue in Anunoby. When Anunoby went up for that layup and missed the layup, the announcer said, Anunoby couldn't make up his mind whether he was going to dunk or lay it up. The man looked tired. He got to the free throw line. Yes, that did cost us the game. That missed free throw cost us the game. It cost us the game. Thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing that QH. I can't pronounce that name. QH9. Thank you. In that moment, I seen the minutes creeping in. You know what I'm saying? And in that earlier game, I was talking about the Detroit series. I was like, okay, the minutes played a crucial part in that series. But as you think about it, that was the first game of the playoffs, first series of the playoff. Team was not fatigued yet. You know what I'm saying? I was saying, being that we played them long minutes, we get down the stretch and, it's fatigue time. Players don't think right. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about this with Indiana, he's not playing the same amount of rotation, the men in the rotation that Tibbs is. You think about Detroit. Detroit kept it right about where Tibbs kept it rotation. Detroit played about 8, maybe 9 sometimes. Boston played 7 to 8, maybe 8. The same with rotation Tibbs kept. So there was a matchup as who was more fatigued or not. But when you come to Indiana, we all know Indiana going to roll with 11, 10. The bench if he had to. Rick Carlisle going to play the bench if he had to. And that's what I mean about adjustment with Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that a little later. But back to game one. We had game one. There was no reason to put Brunson in. I would have been happy to see Brunson sit down, gotten rest for game 2 because we was up 14 points. The squad we had in was rolling. We put Brunson in, and some of y'all might not agree with me, some of y'all will, but Brunson can be a liability on defense. That's the only weakness to the Brunson game, and that's his defense, and it's his height. You know, players take advantage of his height and his speed, his foot movement. When he got the basketball, he's magical. He's magical. There's no doubt in what he can do, the moves that he put on players, the things that he do with the basketball for his size. But when it comes to defense, he's a liability sometimes. And this is why I say Tibbs should run a 2-3 or maybe a 3-2 zone sometimes, especially when we get in crunch time, hit them with the 2-3 zone. I think that would bother Halliburton a little more. Tibbs have to adjust. When we got the lead, you have to play with the lead. You can't go back into that same mentality that, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I end the game. It only worked with Brunson in crunch time because it's kind of chaotic when Brunson is when it's a 3-point lead and it's 2 minutes left in the game. It's chaotic. But when you got a 14-point lead and you relax, because that's what's going to happen. You bring Brunson back out there. You bring your squad out there. They relax. They feel they got the game. It's 3 minutes left in the game. We got this. Brunson become the liability. The defensive scheme that I hate, we keep running. I say I hate it, but at the same time, it got us to where we are right now. And that's the thing about it. It's a double-edged sword with Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? But the decision-making in crunch time, the predictability really the problem with Tibbs, the predictability. Rick Carlisle know what Tibbs is going to do before Tibbs does it. And that's the truth of the fact. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth of the fact. JW, we should have developed a bench. I'm going to get to that exactly. See, I'm going to go off the top for just a second because I want to talk about the Mikal Bridges trade. Everybody talking about the picks that we gave up. Does it really make a difference who we draft and how many picks we have with this coach? Because he doesn't develop. He does not develop any of our talent, our young talent. If you're not good enough to make the squad, you're not playing. And how can I say that and change what I mean? I'm saying, let's take Quickly. Quickly had to prove himself. Grimes have to prove himself. When you look at these guys are starters on other teams. And it took years for Tibbs to put them in any type of rotation. Now, last night I was looking at Rick Carlisle brought players off the bench that he usually do not even play. You know what I'm saying? Just to wear our guys down. He ran, how many people played, how many guys played for a second? Let me see something real quick. We're going to look at the rotation that Rick Carlisle ran on us, how many men that Tibbs ran, the minutes that he gave the players, and it just makes no sense. Excuse me for a second, I apologize. Trying to find that real quick. Give me 1 second here real quick. All right, here we go. Obi Toppin getting whenever I have a conversation with people about Tibbs being a great assistant and not a real head coach, I bring up Obi Toppin because Obi Toppin called him out. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened? Obi Toppin got traded. Now look at the rotation. Look at the minutes that Rick Carlisle played, the men and the minutes he gave him. Now let's just go to the bench because they always talking about the Knicks bench not being a productive bench. And the only reason the bench is not productive is because the coach hold them back. And that's real talk. Toppin, he had played 19 minutes. TJ McConnell, 14 minutes. Ben Shepherd, 12 minutes. Benedict Mathurin, 10 minutes. Tony Bradley, the guy I'm talking about, he usually don't play, but is another body, 8 minutes. And Thomas Bryant got 4 minutes. Now let's roll down to the Knicks. Let's just look at what the minutes we got. Campaign got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. So he played 8 men. Actually played 8 men. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson, 29 minutes. I'm not mad at the minutes Mitchell Robinson and McBride getting. But what I think, if you look down here, you see Preston Achua and Landry Shamet did not play. And they was a big part of us winning 50 games throughout this season. And for them not to be playing in the playoffs, I'm not going to say just this series, but in the playoffs, It's a sign that this coach is outdated. He's running like game two. I don't know. I know y'all watch it, but I don't know if you've seen it. Brunson went down. He didn't step on nobody's foot. What's-called stepped on his foot. He fell down. But when he got up, they was talking about Brunson was injured. He was hurt. He didn't look hurt. He looked exhausted. The minutes is finally starting to kick in with the team. Whether people want to agree or not, the minutes are starting to kick in. You cannot play 8 men against a 10, 12. This guy playing 12 men. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's playing 11-man rotation against us. How was Brunson going to? Come on, they can't keep pace up with. They cannot keep pace with Indiana if he's going to run this rotation. They can't. Let's talk about. What was what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the rotation. Another thing I'm talking about, like a minutes. I'm talking about that too, but. What's what I'm talking about? The rookies. I don't expect him to play Carlec. No, I don't. But I do think Precious Achiuwa should be seeing more minutes. And Siakam killed him. I was trying to get the video up of Siakam. I had trouble with getting that video up, so I'm sorry. But Siakam killed us last night, man. And as good as Anunoby is on defense, he can't stay with Siakam, but I think Precious Achiuwa is more mobile than Anunoby, and that he would be a better choice on defense against Siakam. And Siakam know that he can take on Anunoby at will, man. And this is why I keep talking about where we got to change the defensive scheme to a 2-3 or a 3-2. You know what I'm saying? This way, T.J. McConnell wouldn't hurt us so much. And the fact that we double everybody with the ball, it don't make a difference who touched the basketball. It's a triple team on them. It always going to leave somebody open. I'm always talking about this defense. I know y'all tired of hearing me saying the same thing, that I can't stand when he trap and ice. Now, the switching is inevitable sometimes. But when we go to that icing all the time, it always leave a man on the sideline or always at the three-pointer for that open three. Every time. Now, the fat lady is not on the stage. I'm going to say it again, but she's in the dressing room. She's putting on her makeup because I don't really see how the Knicks can bounce back, especially with a coach that's not willing to adapt, a coach that's going to run the same scheme no matter what. They know what Tibbs going to run before Tibbs run it. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, how did he win so many games? And because they talked about, I'm kind of going a little subject when I talk about Cleveland and how Cleveland demise. And the reason why, because when you play in the regular season, you're not playing the same team night after night. And people forget, it's 30 teams in the NBA, right? 30 teams. But out of them 30 teams, how many teams are really legit contending teams, that real teams? They're just there for let's be real, other teams just be there, you know what I'm saying? Competition to make it through the season. You got 6 legitimate teams in the NBA that you can really count on and say they're the team. So when you got 6 teams like that, maybe 7, maybe 8, it's the playoffs. Let's just put it 8. And you got them 8 teams going up against 22 other teams. They're going to dominate throughout the series. They're going to beat them teams. So you're going to come out with an inflated score record. And I know you're going to say, well, then the Knicks record is inflated. You can say that too. But what I'm trying to say, teams that are as good as the Cavs, Boston, the Knicks are, Indiana, they are going to beat the Atlanta Hawks, the Orlando Magics, Detroit Pistons of the NBA. They are going to beat them teams throughout the season. But when you match up them teams, like Boston and the New York Knicks, I was surprised. No, I'm not going to say surprised, but I was, I'm not going to say surprised because the way Boston beat the New York Knicks, but I never counted the Knicks out because I always look at the regular season as what it is, the regular season. Then when you look at Boston and what they averaged, statistically, they was right there with the New York Knicks matched up. And that's when I go into my theory. I know it's just my theory. But as you play the regular season, you're going to have inferior teams, and you're going to beat them inferior teams. Let me get to some of these comments, because I've been talking. All right. What up, Raphael? Throw the chamois. You got it. You know what? We got game 3 tomorrow, and we're going to see how much Tibbs adapt to the game. We're going to see what he learned from game 2. Is he going to use Shaman? Shaman is rotten on the bench. Precious Achua, I mean, even Precious Achua ain't going to come out and give you 15, 16 points. He's going to give you defense. He's going to give you effort. You know what I'm saying? Shaman is going to give you some points. I know he's a liability on defense, but so is Jalen Brunson. But what else Shaman is going to do is going to be a deterrent. He's going to keep the defense respectable. They can't double team Jalen Brunson if they got Shaman on the court. They can't double team Miles McBride if they got Shaman on the court. They have to play Shaman. And Rick Carlisle knows this. He's not going to leave Shaman open no time. It's going to leave somebody open. Carl Anthony Towns, Brunson, somebody's going to be open. And he can eat food, eat fouls, buzzer beater. App does Gianna makes sense. You know, since you said that buzzer you brung up, and I'm going to go off top and go with you. I thought about that too. Does it really make sense to Giannis coming? Because we're going to have to give up players. And we're going to be giving up more offense and defense for one player that, you know, let's be real, he's injury prone. People don't talk about it. He doesn't go through a full season without being injured, without missing a month or two. And look at the experience that they made. I know he won the championship. They had a good team. He had some good role players around him when he won that championship. You cannot forget the players that he had around him. Right now, I don't think Giannis Antetokounmpo will be a good fit for the New York Knicks. Just to answer your question to App, I don't think he would be a fit for the New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to talk. I'm making a video about a draft because the draft is coming up. And what I wanted to talk about quickly in this video too is also about Mikal Bridges and them 5 picks when Tibbs is not developing our rookies. Because we got throughout the playoffs, we watching rookies come in and contribute with their teams. And we don't get that from our rookies. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Tibbs. At one time, Tibbs did play a 9-man rotation or closer. When I say 9, 8, them guys got respectable minutes. All that I don't know what happened. Go to some of these comments. Now, we have a pick, AP. We have a pick in the second round, the 50th pick, which I was doing some research. Actually, they want Knicks to take that kid from Villanova. I forget his name, but I think he led the in scoring. And then there's this kid from Africa. This kid, I forget his name. I'm really intrigued about him, but I'm going to do a video about the draft. But we have the 50th pick. And yes, where's Kulik? The thing about it, I would like to see Kulik play. I thought saw him playing in the playoffs, but he didn't get no run through the regular season. I think bringing Kulik right now into the playoffs, that he would be a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? He would be a deer in headlights. Now, he could bring my man Wright off the bench, Delon Wright. I think Delon Wright would be a little bit player better over Payne. I mean, Payne come hit you now and then, but Payne's unpredictable and he make stupid decisions at the worst time of the game. Delon Wright is a veteran. He would look more to get the ball to a scoring man, and if his shot is there, he'll take it. That's why I would like to see Wright in there. Now, I want to see Shamet. I want to see Wright, and I definitely want to see Achua. Achua got to be the guy that's got to play, that's got to be guarding Siakam game 3, because Anunoby's not quick enough to hold Siakam. He's not quick enough. Right now, it's, you know what, H9, a lot of people complain about Tibbs, and Tibbs have a lot of supporters, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of channels that you go on, you're going to hear that Tibbs is the greatest thing since Brett, since becoming the coach of New York Knicks. And trust me, I respect Tibbs and where he got this team at, you know what I'm saying? But people act like we didn't have a roster that, like, the Knicks, Leon Rose built this team. Like I talked about them being 8 great teams in the NBA. Leon Rose built it to put us in that position that we are one of them 8 teams that's one of the best 8 teams in the NBA. But when you look at what we had before Tibbs came in, we was trash. Let's be for real. The Knicks was trash for a long time. For a very long time. And as I used to be of R.J. Barrett, y'all probably, if you've been watching me for the last 3 years, y'all heard me call that man Star Barrett. I had high hopes for R.J. Barrett, but the roster was building. when Julius Randle came to the New York Knicks, a lot of people didn't expect it to pan out the way it did, but he brought us respectability. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle brought us a little bit more respectability. Now, that Brunson signing, the Knicks was disrespected. When we signed Brunson and gave him $104 million, I'm gonna be real with you. I question the move a little bit. I'm like, yo, $104 million for Brunson when he was only asking for $50 million from Dallas, but it paid off. You know what I'm saying? Leon Rose steadily built this team into a contending team. But what Leon Rose forgot is that you got to have a coach that's willing to adapt with every situation, that realize that we're playing in a different era. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs is a good coach if he can just come up with a better defensive scheme. If Tibbs had an offensive plan, I'm going to be real with y'all. If he had an offensive plan, am I subscribed? Are you subscribed, man? I don't do all the checking on analytics. I need to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm you know, this is my little, I ain't gonna say a hobby, but the reason I started this channel, I ain't trying to get fame. I'm not trying to get fortune. But a lot of times I watched, you know, commentators talk about my New York Knicks, and I was upset, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to put my 2 cents in. And I'm glad that I have a little following that I can express my concern with, because some of y'all agree with me, some of y'all don't. And I'm not mad with the people that don't, because that's what I respect y'all opinion. You know what I'm saying? I want to do a show where I can invite y'all into the channel, have y'all come on, do call-ins. I'm trying to get advanced enough to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't look that old, but I'm up there, and my computer skills is not there where I can do the Discords and all that at once. But I want to have y'all on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have y'all. I want your opinions. I want y'all to get your opinions out. You know what I'm saying? Just like I started this channel. If y'all ain't got a channel, I want y'all to be able to come on a platform and get y'all gripe off. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm doing. Back to the game. Game 3. I don't know, man. We need to take this game. And the thing about the Knicks are a better road team than home team. They seem to go out, and when they're back up against the wall, they come out and play. But Tibbs is going to have to adjust for the fact that Rick Carlisle is not playing 8 men. He's not playing 7 men. He's playing 10 to 11. And I think if he has to play 12, he's going to play 12 men. You know what I'm saying? And when he sees something that's working, he's going to go with it. Tibbs have to search. You know what I'm saying? He can't rely on the same thing. And what I mean by that, he got to go all out in game 3, man. It can't be just Brunson. It can't be Karl Anthony Towns. You know what I'm saying? I asked a question in one of my other lives, like, right now, who would y'all rather have, Karl Anthony Towns or Julius Randle? I'm gonna be real with you. In the playoffs right now, going up against Indiana right now, I would like to have Julius Randle. Julius Randle, we complained about, when we had Julius Randle, we all talked about how the ball became a black hole, how it stopped with Julius Randle, how it was a ground and pound with Julius Randle. Now we know it wasn't Julius Randle. It's the offense of Tom Thibodeau. I hear you, App. Buzzer, beat up. Thank you. Facts. Raphael, exactly. Listen, we complained about Julius Randle pounding the ball, not, being a stale offense. But look at what he's doing in Minnesota. He's not doing that in Minnesota. So it leads back to who? The coach. Tibbs got to step into this year, into the future. He got to learn how to run a better offense. That's what I'm saying. AP. He's an assistant coach, and the best defensive assistant coach there is probably in the history of NBA. But a head coach, we seen him. He had a chance. This is his 3rd time around being a head coach, leading major organization, because the Chicago Bulls was a big-time organization. Michael Jordan put that organization up there. Tom Thibodeau had the privilege to run that organization. And I don't care what nobody say. He destroyed that organization. And what I mean by that, you seen what he did with Derrick Rose. And everybody would like to point out Derrick Rose, right? Yeah. But nobody talk about Joakim or Joakim Noah. Everybody forget about Lou Aldane. After playing for Tom Thibodeau, these guys' careers, they was done. Noah came to the New York Knicks. I mean, He barely was able to play a consecutive month, whether or a season. I don't know, man. Game 3, Game 4, because you got to be real. These are the only games we really got to look for. Because if Indiana take Game 3, they coming out with knives in Game 4. They putting the Knicks away in Game 4. I hate to say it, man. And my prediction was the Knicks and Minnesota and the NBA Finals. Both these teams are down 2 games. The thing about it, Minnesota get to go home. You know what I'm saying? In front of their home crowd and put on a show, hopefully. The New York Knicks got to go into hostile territory in the Indiana Pacers house, and they got to come away with 2 victories. They got to come away with 2 victories. And for the New York Knicks to stay alive in this series, they got to beat the Pacers twice in their house. Then come home and hopefully and get a win. Then they got to come home, get a win. I don't know how the Knicks are going to pull this off, man. And it'll be a miracle if they do. Honestly, it would be a miracle if they do. And if they do, I don't know. Do I pat Tibbs on the back? Do I eat all my words? Or do I praise the players? Because I'm gonna be real. I just think it's gonna be the play because the New York Knicks have a championship caliber team. We just don't have a championship caliber coach. And I don't care what nobody said. I say it too in my grave. I respect the man. I give the man his love, his due respect of the wins that he got us in the last 2 seasons. Okay. But the regular season is like what, some of y'all might be a little young me, but like Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately? It's when you get into the playoffs, is when you step your game up. When you get into the playoffs as a coach is when you step your game up. You know what I'm saying? Detroit series, I wasn't worried about that series. I knew it would go 6. Boston, I'm being real with you, and I'm not just saying this because we won that series. I said it before the playoffs started that I was not worried about Boston. I was not worried about Boston. I don't care how many threes they shoot. You know what I'm saying? They only average 116 points through the season. The Knicks averaged 116 points. In the playoff, it becomes a whole different game. When we looked at that series, Boston and Missouri or Tom Thibodeau, they basically played the same amount of guys. But we knew when we got to Indiana that it was going to be a different ball game. We knew, everybody knew, the commentators, the ESPNs, the get-ups in the world, they all talked about how Indiana run a 10-man, 9-man, maybe 11, 12-man rotation. Tibbs knew this going into that game, into the series, and did not adjust for it. I don't understand why you would think playing 7 men, because let's say game 1, he basically played 7 men. You know what I'm saying? And the Knicks, and I don't care what nobody say, the Knicks ran out of gas in game 1. You know what I'm saying? When you miss easy free throws like that, we can say it was nerves and confidence. Your legs is gone. And I know we came down and missed a dunk. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they said that he didn't make up his mind. And I know that happens when you play basketball, but I don't think he had the legs to make the shot that he was trying to make and just said to heck with it and just try to get the ball out of his hand because the defense was coming hard on him. Now, Brunson and Hart, they laughed at the people. They laughed at us men. I'm proud to say I'm part of that minute police team. They laughed at us throughout the season. And now the minutes are starting to hurt this team. And I don't care if nobody said the minutes are starting to hurt this team. Let me know. Hit me in the comments. Are the minutes starting to play a part? Or is it just bad coaching? I mean, it's a little bit of both. Honestly, I think Anunoby hurt his leg. He isn't jumping normal. Let me go back to Frankie. What's up, Frank? I want to say welcome to the chat. Knicks should be up to it. The Knicks should be out. I want the way Siakam play, I wouldn't say up 2, but the series should be tied. We should have took game 1. I don't care what nobody say. Raphael, both. You know what I'm saying? I think, the way Siakam came out and played and the way Tibbs do not adjust for games, I'll say it should be a tie series. And if it was a tie series, I would think that we would have had a hell of a chance to go in Indiana and win both games. But with our backs up against the wall, I'm going to see Brunson, I'm going to see Towns, because Towns, the good as Towns have been, Towns does not play with composure. He does not play with the composure that he needs to play with as a 7-footer. They put guys on him that's 6'2", 6'6". You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at the reasons why Minnesota didn't have problem trading Tibbs. I mean, he's a hell of an offensive player, but sometimes I don't want to see him taking a three from damn near mid-court. I don't want to see him flailing his arms when he's driving. I want to see him go into the hole. I know he's not Shaq, but come on, man. You go into the hole strong. You know what I'm saying? These are some things that I see why Minnesota trade him. But I know he can be a great player. I know he can shoot the ball. I know he can stretch the floor. You know what I'm saying? I know he can stretch the floor. I'm going to look at something real quick. We see Siakam had 39 points. I want to go back to him guarding him, what Tibbs going to have to do. I think Precious Achiuwa, and I know Hooker Porty is young. I know, but he's not that young. The thing about Hooker Porty, well, I would like to see him play, especially when they start a hacker Mitch. I know Mitch should get out there and get them offensive rebounds. But I think Hooker Porty can do the same thing. I seen that from him early in the season. That he just didn't get the playing time consistently throughout the season to prove it. Siakam is good, but he isn't the same guy that won. Toronto Pacers aren't good. Watch what happened in Game 3. Frank, I'm going to say this, man. The Pacers are legit. And the Knicks underestimated them. No, I'm not going to say the Knicks underestimated them. Tibbs underestimated this team. But at the same time, Tibbs know who he's playing against. Rick Carlisle, both of these guys been in the league for years. These coaches know one another. Tibbs is supposed to come into this series knowing that Carlisle is going to play more than 8 guys. Right now, the fatigue is kicking the ass. Even if you want to say Siakam is not that good, the Knicks rotation, the fatigue, these guys not keeping up. They can't. McCollum, but like the TJ come out and he's going to run the Knicks into the ground. And then after he go to the bench, Carlisle bring another guy that he barely even played throughout the season. He barely even played in the series before. Another pair of fresh legs to be on. Come on, we can't win this way. We have to go to a 9-man rotation. Shaman got to play tomorrow. A Precious Achiuwa got to play. Even if Payne is on the floor, we got to see when the second unit come out. It got to be Mitchell Robinson out there, of course. We got to see a different 5 so that our starting unit is getting rest. You know what I'm saying? Mikal Bridges, he tried to do his thing. He tried to help the team. He had 20 points. Karl-Anthony Towns, 20 points. But Karl-Anthony Towns scoring 20 points is not going to win this series. I said if Bridges and Anunoby ain't going to score, Karl-Anthony Towns got to average at least 25 to 27 points. If Brunson going to be averaging 30 points. Carlisle should still be wearing the Knicks smaller rotation down. Fatigue is setting in by the third quarter. This is how we lost Game 1. We had the right rotation and we had the fresh legs in. We had defensive players in. 3 minutes left. Tibbs was like, yo, we up 14 points. It's 3 minutes left. The guys that was in the game, they wasn't showing anything where they was that would say that they was about to give this lead up. There was no way that it looked like they was about to give the lead up. And I mean, I know Brunson's the star of this team, but this is what I mean about coaching. It's knowing when to sit back and let the flow. Because I strongly believe if he would not have brung Bridges and Brunson back in the game and he just would have left the rotation that was on the floor in Game 1, we would have won that game. I honestly believe that. Because when I keep forgetting the kid name, but he hit 5 threes. That was Brunson's man. That was Brunson's assignment. That's what nobody's talking about. When he came up with them curls and them picks, Brunson wasn't keeping up with him. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how we're going to do it, man. I'm being real with y'all. I don't know how we're going to do it. We have to win 4 straight. Not straight, but we have to win 4 games out of the next 5. I don't think it's possible. Naismith, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Naismith. I couldn't get his name out. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, before the series, whenever I would think of Naismith, I would always put what's this guy name? He got the highway patrol mustache. I would always put his face to Naismith's name. But at the same time, man, we're not going to beat the Pacers running an 8-man sometimes. I'm going to put a 7-man, sometimes 8-man rotation. Not with this group. You're right, App. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Achua got to come out, you know what I'm saying, and play more, especially when Anunoby don't got it going on. Mitchell Robinson is basically is the brightest spot in this series. You know what I'm saying? He have the highest plus-minus rate of any Knick player in this series. Deuce McBride, I'm not going to lie to you, and that Detroit series, I was worried. But since Boston, Deuce been shooting over 50%. I mean, he been doing his thing when he got the opportunity. And another thing I wanted to point out, too, before I get up out of here, is when the Knicks don't have more than 20 assists, we lose the game. And you see, we had 18 assists, and that's when you know Brunson is trying to do it all. And that's why I want to go back to the game 3. When we get in game 3, is Brunson going to try to do too much and not get his team involved? Because when they don't get involved, this is how Anunoby disappeared. This is how McBridges disappeared. We got to come out. We got to move the ball. And that's what I'm talking about in game 1. We moved the ball because we was down in game 1. We came back. We took the lead because we moved the basketball. When Brunson come back in and it goes to the ISO, and now I'm all for the ISO when we 5 points down and it's 2 minutes left because there's nerves on both sides of the groups of defense and offense. So crunch time is needed, but not when we 13, 14 points up and we got 3 minutes left in the game and the squad that we playing is actually dominating the game. There was no reason for Brunson to be back in the game. That's what I mean by coaching and adjusting and knowing the moments and having a feel for the game. We go to see JW, what's up? Town doesn't play with emotion or intelligence. You know, I'm going to say you half and half because I'm going to say he doesn't play with intelligence. That's one thing I got to give you. But he play with too much emotion. He's too emotional. You know what I'm saying? He got to slow down and get composure. He got to get some composure. He played with too much emotions. You know what I'm saying? I know this is probably a bad joke, but he plays the way he talk the way he sound when he talk. Soft. You know what I'm saying? Soft. And I hate it because we knew that was the talk about Towns come when we trade. I mean, we didn't know what we was getting before the season started until we got it because it was a last minute thing. But we all knew who Karl Anthony Towns was. This is why Minnesota had no problem trading him for Julius Randle. And I was one of the biggest advocates for Julius Randle to stay on this team. I'm going to be real with y'all. I was one of the biggest advocates. I was like, who are we going to get to replace Julius Randle? They made the trade. Karl Anthony Towns came in any season. The reason why it looked so refreshing because we were so used to seeing Julius Randle pound the ball. Now when we look over to Minnesota, Julius Randle fluent, moving. So it comes back to the coach. When Julius Randle was here, that means we could have been so much more successful with Julius Randle if we ran a different offense. We got to be real. You don't learn about a player until you see them every day. Or until you see them in the Knicks case, until you see them on another team. Because let's think about how many players we watch on our crummy-ass New York Knicks team right on the bench, not get the playing time, or go to another team, become a major contributor to that team, and win a championship. Obi Toppin, for one, he haven't won a championship yet, but if they continue, he's going to be in the NBA Finals. And Rick Carlisle know how to use his ability. I mean, Anunoby's three-point shooting improved. Even under Tibbs, his three-point shot improved. But his usage was so little that come on, we seen what happened. You know what I'm saying? And he's happy where he's at. We seen that he's a very productive and a good player, and I think he would have been good on the New York Knicks, but he got ran out of town by who? Tom Thibodeau. Luke Cornett is another one, but we can't blame Luke Cornett on Tom Thibodeau. We let him go way before Tom got here. Frank, Knicks were unbeatable with Randall Brunson. We were with them three guys and Mitchell Robinson back there, and then we already brung. I'm gonna be real. I was looking forward to seeing Mikal Bridges and Dante DiMartino play with the New York Knicks. I was looking forward to that Villanova crew with Randall. I thought it was gonna be something special. We got shocked with that call every time. I mean, come on, as a fan, we love throughout the regular season, but it's the playoffs. We want to see some more toughness and less emotions and more intelligence. Barrett, Quickly, Randall, Toppin. Barrett and Quickly, we're going to see what they do next season coming up. They Quickly has some injuries this season. Toronto, they got some building to do, but they was decent players. Actually, I think they could have been some good bench players, but I don't see how we could have kept them. We had to pay Barry, and Barry's that's another subject. Even though I call Barrett star Barrett, he's overpaid. Let's be real. Barrett is overpaid as a player. Yeah, I wanted to see that play out. Towns has a lot of talent in the world, but held back by his emotions. Too much emotions, Raphael. Too much emotion, too soft. I mean, let's be, and I was heated when Draymond Green had to put his 2 cents in about him. But you got to realize Draymond Green seen him in competition more than I probably watched Towns do a game because the West Coast. And yeah, I knew the rumor, I knew the narrative about Towns, but come on, man, Towns is soft. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player, but he's soft. And what I mean about soft, he got to go and win. When he's going into the hole and he's hooking the opponent most of the time. So stop complaining to the referee and stop flopping. The one thing that I'm hating that I hate throughout the series with him is that he's always getting off the floor, and it hurts the team on defense because when he's on the ground, he's not back on defense. Because if he's flopping on a miss, the other team is up and running, and he's getting up complaining to the ref instead of getting back. Instead of trying to get up the floor as quick as he can to get back on defense, he's complaining to the referee when he get up. Them 2 seconds or 1.5 millimeters a second, it counts. It hurts the team. So yes, Towns is too damn emotional. And when you say emotional, and as a man, that's just another word for soft. Let's just be real. As when men talk and you say a guy is emotional, we just calling him soft. That's another word, we calling him soft. I can't say other words on here, but that's just another way of saying that dude is PUSS, soft. You know what I'm saying? Soft. He got all the talent in the world. I wish the Knicks have someone who is tough and you think about it, we wasted a rotation spot when we went out and we got what's the guy we got? Because we're not playing him. We're not playing him at all. We talked about the savviness of him helping him win in Minnesota a championship, and we're not playing the guy. And even if we put him on the court, he's fat and he's old. I just can't get his name out, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't even play him. You know what I'm saying? We got guys, we bring them in, we just put them on the bench. It's a wasteland. So when people start complaining about the picks that we gave up for Mikal Bridges, so what? We're not going to do nothing with the picks when we draft these guys under Tom Thibodeau anyway. McKellar is a hell of a defensive player. Can give you offense. Granted, the guy was hurt when the season started. PJ Tucker, thank you, Raphael. Thank you. I appreciate that. We didn't see McKellar at no time once he got healthy. Even when the season wind down and the Knicks locked in the playoff spot, Tibbs was still running our starters into the ground. We already had a playoff spot locked in. We had the number 3 spot locked in. He was still running our guys into the ground. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, man. We have the talent. We don't have the chance. We don't have the coach. Buzzer Beater said he was glad R.J. Barrett was gone. You wouldn't want to see R.J. Barrett even come off the bench. But I don't think R.J. Barrett would accept a bench role. Because I think R.J. Barrett think he is that star player. He's an all-star. Buzzer Beater, yes. But what happened to Hart? He caught, yeah. And I thought that was going to be a flagrant foul. I thought whenever you get hit above the neck, head with an elbow, I understand that. But Hart, he was a disappointment in series with Detroit. He stepped up in Boston late. I don't know. I just think with Hart, we talk about his non-shooting, but he don't touch the ball that much. Well, then again, he does touch the ball a lot in offensive rebounding. I don't know with Hart. He's going to give you good nights, but he's going to give us what we need. You know what I'm saying? Defense, rebounds, and, that energy. But at the same time, he's playing out of position. You know what I'm saying? Siakam don't have a problem going up against Hart. You know what I'm saying? Turner don't have a problem going up against Hart. This is what I'm talking about. You got to start bringing in the bigs like a Chua. You know what I'm saying? And making the team bigger, Delian Wright. And we're going to play Brunson, but when we go to the bench, we got to start matching up size for size. And you got to start saying, okay, you want to run a 9-man, 8-man, 10-man rotation? I trust 9 guys. You trust Tibbs, trust 9 guys. JW, 50th pick is Eric Dixon from River Nola. That's the kid I was talking about. If he's there, because let's be real, the kid can score. So I don't know, just because they have him going and have him in the second round, somebody might see something and take him. Hart has always been a great glue guy. This pushes him to more than, yep. I mean, yeah, he is the glue guy, but he got to up his offense because they leave him open sometimes too much. I wouldn't say it was a hard foul. I would say it was they was going after the rebound, and it happens. But I want to see players put hard fouls on people. I mean, we got to put some we got to bring out and play with a little more that Detroit series. We got to play more physical with teams. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the guys that we running with are not physical players. So I guess Tibbs tried to mask their liabilities with his defensive scheme, but his defensive scheme is outdated because his defensive scheme forces you to shoot long twos. But in today's NBA, nobody take long twos. Everybody take 3-point shots. And if you're going to keep leaving guys open on 3-point line, percentage-wise, they are going to make shots. Even if the guy take 10 shots and only make 4 out of them 10 shots, 3-pointers, that's what? 12 points? And if you ain't scoring on the other end, it's a deficit. You know what I'm saying? This is why I know it could hurt the 2-3 zone. I know it could hurt us, the 3-2 or 2-3. But I want to see more zone. Where it wouldn't be that much switching. Or if that's switching, it would be keeping the guy on the perimeter and out of the paint. You know what I'm saying? Let's check out the paint points here. I ain't even bring up them stats, but second chance points, we outscored them. Fast break points, Indiana's a transition team. 48% from the field. 11 for 32 from downtown. 13 for 30 from downtown. See, that's what I mean. They didn't kill us by the 3-ball shooter even. They killed us. Siakam killed us, man. Siakam killed us. 39 points because nobody can hold him. Anunoby is a good defender, but he's not as quick as Siakam. He wasn't going to stay with Siakam. And the switching just put Brunson or a smaller man on him. The 2-3, even though it was a smaller man, is going to keep Siakam on the perimeter. And if he get inside, then you got some bigs to help. You'll have a Chua, you'll have Mitchell Robinson, you'll have Karl Anthony Towns if he get from over that first line of defense. But we switching on everything, and while we switching, we're double teaming at the same time. It's always going to leave somebody open. It's always going to leave somebody's open. Adjustments got to be made. Rotation got to be expanded. Or we going home, y'all. I mean, it feel good because let's be real. This is the longest that the New York Knicks have been watching basketball. When I say basketball, watching our team in a season. Usually right now, we'll be worrying about the draft, or we'd have been watching the lottery pick. And I mean, you have to give Tibbs his props. You know what I'm saying? We are in a good position, but at the same time, look at our rotation. We're supposed to be where we at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say it again. With any other coach, I think we would be in the same exact position. But I think we'd be better off because any other coach would know, like, listen, I can't play 7 men against 10 guys. 9 to 10 guys. I can't play. Let's look at that rotation for Indiana again. Obi Toppin, let's go. Miles Turner, 32 minutes. Look how he keep the minutes under a certain amount for his starting 5 unit. Nembhard is only out there 36 minutes because he guarding Brunson. Now let's go to the bench. Obi Toppin got 19 minutes. TJ McConnell got 14 minutes. Shepard, 12 minutes. Mathurin, 10 minutes. Tony Bradley, 8 minutes. Bryant, 4 minutes. Let's scroll down to the New York Knicks. We already know the stars, what they're going to do. Now let's just check out the bench. Not only did we only play 8 guys, Kyle Payne finally got minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because Mitchell Robinson and McBride have been getting minutes, but that 9 minutes surprised me from campaign because it would have been usually been 3 minutes for him, and I wouldn't have been mad at him 3 minutes because I'd rather have Delian Wright out there. But I would like to see Hooker Porty play. I would like to see Landry Shamet play. I would like to see Wright play. Now, if you brought PJ Tucker in to take up a roster spot, play these guys. Why does Tom lose home court advantage every year? Every year. We lost it with Detroit Pistons. And it was shocking and surprising when we took home court advantage away from the Boston Celtics. And the only reason we did that, because we got to be real, even though I say that, you know, Boston's a good team, it was more arrogance from Boston on Boston's behalf. They just knew they was going to beat the New York Knicks. The whole NBA just knew the Boston Celtics was about to trounced the New York Knicks. And it just turned out they didn't. It was a different, like I said, when you playing bum teams throughout the season, you're going to have a record of 61. You're going to have a record of 51. When you come up against contender teams, you have to play them for a consistent amount of games, a series. It's going to always be an outcome that nobody can predict because you have 2 good teams playing one another. So I wasn't worried about the Boston Celtics. And I also knew that Boston is not a consistent team. So I knew if we got in the playoffs and Jason Tatum didn't have a good game, is that the Knicks had a chance of winning. And everybody keep talking about the Knicks got lucky in that series because I heard Paul Pierce say it. And I don't know. Oh, I know we walked away with a victory, but I know we was winning that game 3 that Tatum got hurt, and he was forcing his body to a limit to keep his team in it. And his body couldn't take it. It broke down. You know what I'm saying? It broke down. But game 3, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, I'm hoping Tibbs come out with a scheme that keep us alive. Because if we lose game 3, the fat lady's walking towards the stage. Right now, the fat lady's in the dressing room putting on her makeup. Can somebody sabotage the fat lady? Can somebody put a stick up against the door so that she cannot leave her room? Because we don't want to see the fat lady. Because once she starts singing, we know it's over. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace. Time to get up out of here, y'all.